Friend, the next item of business is a report from Higher Education and Ministry. The chair invites our presenters on the Higher Education and Ministry report. They will be led by General Secretary, Reverend Greg Berquist.
We exist to bring people together, to make progress, to collaborate, to innovate toward our shared mission to serve our constituents. Providing scholarships to help students follow their college dreams. Delivering hundreds of grants for international educational projects. Supporting a global network of more than 1,000 Methodist-related schools, colleges, and universities. Delivering critical funding for our historically Black colleges and universities. Developing clergy through training and candidacy programs to follow their call. The General Board of Higher Education and Ministry. Helping build the Church of Tomorrow. Every day.
Good afternoon. My name is Greg Berquist, white male, clergy, older adult. I am the General Secretary of the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry, sometimes known as GBHEM. Our agency has the privilege of walking beside you as you discern, learn, and lead, leading into the call God has placed on your life. As proposed by Charles Wesley, uniting knowledge and vital piety is a theological core value of the United Methodist Church and the Wesleyan tradition. Students who attend a United Methodist-related school, college, seminary, or university receive more than just a world-class education. They find a community that nurtures their mind, their body, and their spirit, and are inspired to transform society for the greater good. United Methodist-related institutions are inclusive communities that combine intellectual curiosity with justice, equity, solidarity for the advancement of basic human rights. In fact, United Methodists were among the first to advocate for greater educational opportunities for all people, regardless of race, class, or gender. Consider with me Meharry Medical College, one of our 11 historically Black colleges located in Nashville, Tennessee. Meharry trains thousands of healthcare professionals in the United States. Additionally, more than 75% of Meharry's medical and dental school graduates go on to practice in underserved communities. Let's take a look at the impact of this world-class United Methodist-related college.
Artificial intelligence, big data sets, and data analytics are going to provide amazing new interventions and drugs to treat diseases. The problem is only about 1% of them are from folks who come from African ancestry. Together for Change is a historic partnership between Meharry Medical College and 4 major drug companies, and it has 2 major parts. One is to recruit 500,000 people of African ancestry who will have their genome sequenced to become part of this large data set. And the second part of it is that we're going to create programs to engage K through 12 students in science around genomics. What we do would not be possible without having the church as a supporter. So I hope they'll feel proud and even more willing to continue to support us, because we're doing this on behalf of the people that they care about, that we all care about, who need help, who need healing, who need hope.
Good evening. I am Dr. Jessica Love, Black female from the Mississippi Annual Conference and a proud alumna of the illustrious Russ College. For over 50 years, United Methodist has supported 11 historically Black colleges and universities in the United States through the Black College Fund. We know through our work with HBCUs, as well as social science research, that education is one of the most effective tools for equity and economic justice. And with recent Supreme Court rulings that have undermined affirmative action, the importance of HBCUs is ever more critical now than ever. In proportion to their size and financial resources, these 11 HBCUs continue to produce world-class leaders for the church. I'm talking about civil rights leaders. I'm talking about global innovators in healthcare and education, and classes upon classes of change makers. For more than 50 years, the United Methodist Church has done more to open doors for HBCUs and to help them continue thriving than any other Christian denomination in history. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. Let's continue that rich history of change, engaging students as they explore their call to ministry. Thank you.
My name is Lindsay Bainham Freeman, clergy, multiracial female adult. Rarely would I expect a holy moment to overtake a hotel ballroom full of near strangers. And yet, I have felt it happen every time I have attended a GBHEM exploration event. Exploration is a 3-day conference for young adults who are discerning a call to ministry or trying to faithfully understand their vocational choice. It is a diverse call that extends beyond traditional pastoral work to teaching, counseling, community outreach, community development, and many other forms of service for both lay and clergy. Perhaps my favorite part of the event comes at the end. During the final worship service, we ask young adults who are ready to step forward and own their call. There's always a pause and a few nerve-wracking seconds when it seems like no one's going to stand up. Then one by one, they begin to stand, rising in a steady wave as the Holy Spirit moves in our midst. And we're all enveloped in this holy moment, listening to God's call and taking next steps together. 4 of the bishops who participated in this year's event recalled their experiences of discernment as young adults at Exploration. And since the program began in 1990, more than 4,500 young people have engaged their call at Exploration events around the world.
I feel very, very just happy because I've ran into a community of believers that all believe the same thing that I do, and we are all from around the country, around the globe, and that brings me hope for the future of the United Methodist Church.
Mon nom est Louis Abois, laïque, conférence annuelle du Côte d'Ivoire.
From the Côte d'Ivoire,
John Wesley
a recognized that various instruments and experiences are essential to help God's people discern their vocation and live into that vocation in their own context. GBHEM works with the Central Conference Theological Formation Fund and the proposed Central Conference Higher Education Fund in order to expand formation opportunities worldwide by supporting scholarships, faculty development, courses of study, board of ordained ministry training, and libraries across all the central conferences. In October 2023, representatives from 52 Methodist educational institutions and over 15 countries gathered in Kinshasa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, to create a common vision and strengthen partnerships for the future of Methodist education from a Pan-African perspective. During that meeting, the African Association of United Methodist Theological Institutions and the African Association of Methodist Institutions of Higher Education discussed the importance of regionalization in the African context. Before that, the Burundi Annual Conference came together as a single entity in 2017. It was a time of celebration, but also a challenge for clergy who had not had access to formal theological training for a lot of years. It was in February 2020 when over 190 pastors graduated from Burundi's first program of studies in a celebration filled with hope for the future. Thank you.
I feel very, very just happy because I've ran into a community of believers that all believe the same thing that I do, and we are all from around.
Ificane. Boa tarde, eu sou Jamício Taimo.
Good afternoon, I'm Shiri Tahiro, I'm from Mozambique. Jarmisi Taimo, I am a pastor, albino, and Black. That institutions collaborate with the major international institutions, education institutes, and also define regional areas, regional hubs for education development, denominated just GHubs in Argentina, in Brazil, in the United Kingdom, Ivory Coast, Mozambique, Alemanha, Germany, South Africa, United States, South Korea, that unite the Methodist Church, all the possibility to work together ecumenically, such as the International Association of Schools, Colleges, Universities, Methodist Universities, through initiatives such as the Fund for Global Education for the Development and Leaderships, or the regional hubs that will answer all the necessities of ministries or programs and related to the United Methodist Church that promote opportunities for development of leadership of the local churches and communities. General. For example, the GBHEM has been working since 2017 with superior educational leaders in Africa, trying to establish in the African context the Methodist education, similar to the university system of the United States and Philippines. In Africa, it's offering standards, policies, adequate for the evaluation and assessment for the Methodist institutions with all the work for the next month. The first senators will start their work in the next few months. The General Conference, of course, will contribute for the development and sustainability for the future of the American institutions and through the new presented HIF. There is also a deep desire with the Central Conference to define methodology for appropriate educations for pastors, reverends, and leaders with different denominations with GBHEM. And we work together with the local church and communities in order to establish a program to introduction for chapels in Ivory Coast, South Africa, providing information and training for several lay and clergy. GBHEM is working with several central conferences in order to develop training programs and certification in accordance with sustainability, trying to ensure that all people in each region will be prepared and equipped in order to prosper and thrive in their own ministries.
At the intersection of education and faith, there lies an opportunity to transform lives, uplift communities, and pave the way for dreams to flourish. Every year, we award an average of $4 million to help students in the United States and abroad pursue their dreams through higher education. The opportunity to pursue their academic passions, to dive deep into fields that hold the promise of progress, and to emerge as leaders who drive innovation and shape the future. Students become not just beneficiaries, they embrace the responsibility of service and stewardship. With your support, the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry can continue planting seeds of discovery and cultivating a legacy of faith-driven leadership. One scholarship, one student, and one life at a time.
Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. I am Connie Semi Melia from the Philippine Central Conference. Through the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry Scholarship Program, the United Methodist Church prepares the next generation of critical thinkers and dynamic leaders. Since 2017, more than $29 million has been awarded to over 15,000 students worldwide to help them pursue their educational dreams. For example, the International Grants and Scholarship Program, called GRASP, awards approximately 150 grants scholarship each year to students studying at Methodist-related institutions within the Central Conference. The Angela P. Karenfelder Women of Color Scholarship Program celebrates 55 women of color scholars who have obtained their doctoral degrees in religious education and are now teaching in colleges, universities, and seminaries around the world. The graduates of the program have achieved significant accomplishments, including Dr. Yardon Lagonwe Gono, the first woman president of the United Methodist University of Liberia. The Lydia Patterson Institute, a United Methodist-related school in El Paso, Texas, educates 6 to 12 grade school students from both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border. The J.A. Knowles Scholarship helps bridge the financial gap to college by providing education for students so that they will be able to attain their education through the United Methodist institutions of higher learning. Because Wiley University and Houston Tillotson University are 2 of the 11 Black College Fund colleges, this connection helps build another layer of assistance for the students.
The 13 United Methodist seminaries stand as pillars of enlightenment, guiding students towards a higher purpose. These seminaries are more than institutions of theological education. They are sanctuaries of learning, nurturing the minds and spirits of future leaders. Here, outstanding preachers and teachers are sculpted. Prophets and missionaries are empowered, and chaplains and lay leaders are equipped to serve with compassion, wisdom, and solidarity. The United Methodist seminaries are not just places of academic pursuit. They are vibrant communities where faith intersects with intellect and where theology meets practice. The education they offer goes beyond textbooks and lectures. instilling a profound understanding of ministry rooted in faith and service. While embracing the journey of faith and discovering your place within it, there is no better preparation than what the United Methodist seminaries offer. These are not just institutions. Every year, they give back to the United Methodist connection far more than they receive in funding, nurturing leaders who will shape the future of the church. Embrace the calling, embrace the education, embrace the future.
And President of the Association of United Methodist Theological Schools. The landscape of theological education in the United States is changing rapidly, and our 13 United Methodist seminaries are changing too, as they commit to innovative education for the future thriving of the church. GBHEM is stewarding Ministerial Education Fund, MEF dollars, by awarding grants for the prototyping of new, creative expressions of theological education, especially initiatives that support historically marginalized communities. Gammon Theological Seminary, our only United Methodist historically black theological institution, is completely reimagining how they operate. Boston University School of Theology is creating trauma-informed educational practices for their seminarians. In an attempt to combat clergy isolation, Candler School of Theology is fostering seminarian relationships that offer mutual support across a lifetime in ministry. Claremont and MTSO are launching extensive joint research from California to Ohio and beyond to discover critical trends in society that have a direct impact on effective preparation for ministry. My own institution, Garrett Evangelical Theological Seminary, has embarked on a new collaborative partnership with Africa University to create the Peter Maggetto Fellows Program, providing scholarships and living stipends for students from Africa, grants for innovative online educational opportunities, and the launching of a faculty and administrative exchange program between our two institutions. We have so much to learn from each other, and your MEF dollars provide the funds necessary to forge innovative relationships across continents, making a bright future possible for United Methodist theological education.
For over 150 years, GBHEM has served as the steward of the intellectual life and educational mission of our church. Through that time, our work has gone through many transformations and evolutions. For the past 2 years, higher education and ministry and global ministries have been moving toward greater collaboration and alignment, attending each other's consultations and meetings, and bringing together program ministry staff in the areas of scholarships and granting, regional work, shared services, theological reflection, and leadership formation and training. Last October, the board of directors of both boards announced that my colleague and friend, Roland Fernandez, would become the general secretary of both agencies when I retire in June. I celebrate this decision as yet another example of the transformation and evolution of our work and ministry together. By embracing the change that God has set before us as individuals, pastors, agencies, and a denomination, we can ensure that the educational mission of the church will always be a vital expression of what it means to be United Methodist, making principal Christian leaders for the church, the academy, and the world. Thank you, and God bless you.